As you may know, I have been pursuing a career in the creative industry, and it's proving quite difficult. The main issue is that for a office job or a 9-to-5 job in the creative industry, you need to have experience, but to get experience, you need a job. And the only relevant experience I have is my degree, which is in music, and a job I had, which was in photography, and those two don't line up. So the fact that I'm now applying for photography jobs is counteracted by the fact that I did a degree in music, and the music industry specifically is one that's very hard to break into. And I was having a discussion with my boyfriend recently about why it's such a struggle for us to find regular work and how it is hard to stay motivated. And one of the main things in particular that he's struggling with is that he can't see his own potential and his own skill in his work. And I think that is something I struggle with very much, and I think that's something we all probably struggle with in the creative industry. And so I sent him a wall of text about why that probably is and how he could hopefully overcome that. And I'm going to try and implement those things myself as well, and I hope that you can maybe learn something from this as well. Let me read you what I sent him. This was brought on by him saying that he doesn't feel like he's creatively skilled, which is ridiculous, by the way. He's brilliant at music, and he can improvise music so well. I'm so jealous of everything he can do. Anyway, back to the text. I said, no, that's not the point. The point is that you take a step back, take a breath, look at what you've made and acknowledge its potential and the skill needed to come up with something like that. Because you always overlook the tremendous amount of skill and effort that go into making art, and you neglect that part of yourself because to you it feels normal and average, and that's not true. This is a first draft. Not even. It's the first draft of a first draft. It's one concept, one idea. A sculpture starts out as a block of clay or a solid mass of rock, and only once you start shaping and carving, putting in the work and the skill to bring out your artistic vision, that's when the details start to form. Often only in the last 5% of time spent working on a creative project does the artist feel like it's gone somewhere, because that is when the thing in their head, the teeny tiny idea or the shape of an idea, actually is there in front of them. That takes so much work, and giving up after just the first try and dismissing the time and skill put into it will result in no project ever getting finished. I'm aware I'm being a massive hypocrite right now, but it is true, and I hope that the more visual and physical analogy helps you understand where in the process you are and what you are comparing yourself to. I know it's difficult. I do the same thing, and it's the opposite for us as we create from nothing. With a physical medium, you have something and you turn it into something else, no matter what. Whereas with drawing, writing, and music, you start with nothing, a blank page and a blank mind, and then you have to just create, and that is so hard. And that is one of the main things that I personally struggle with. For me, starting an idea is the most difficult thing, because I have nothing, and suddenly I have to make it into something. It has to become a shape or a words, and it's just so difficult to get this massive idea narrowed down into the right kind of words or the right melody or the right kind of next idea, next step onward, to make it into something that is something you're happy with. And I think that's very common in the creative industry in general. For example, when you write a song, you have to come up with the music, the lyrics, the melody, and it's so difficult to decide which to start on until you get an idea of one of the three. And then you have to make sure that the other two start to fit with that idea as well. The same with a novel. If you were to start with an idea and you have this whole world in your head, and you then have to start writing it down, it's so difficult to decide where to start. Like, where does the story start? Which character are we following? Where do we set this? Is this our world? Is this a different world? Is there magic if you're writing fantasy? Or does this person experience heartbreak? Or does she fall in love? Or anything like that. And the same with drawing is, do I want to draw the face first? Do I want to draw the pose first? What do I want to start with? And with drawing it's a little bit different, because obviously you can start sketching and you can take inspiration from photos and things you see, drawing still life. And I think we overlook that in, for example, music and writing. You can do the same thing. And that's an exercise that is probably very handy to do, is to just take someone else's story that you know really well and then write it in your own voice, so to speak. Or if you like a song, copy the chords and write a different melody over it. And stuff like that is very, very helpful to maybe get your brain in the mindset of creating something in general. And then from that, you can make the next step, which is creating something completely new, which again is very hard when you have to come up with something from nothing. I'm very scared to admit this to you guys, but I am going to attempt NaNoWriMo. I mean, I'm also going to be looking for a house and a job, so I don't know if I'll be able to finish it or be able to put in half as much time as I should, but I'm going to try writing a novel, a 50,000 word novel, in November. 30 days. 30 days to write a novel, which is like roughly 1.6k words a day, which I've never written that much in a day before, unless it was the day before deadlines. So I'm going to try my very, very best, and I'm going to try and come up with a story in a world that is in my head. I know what I want to talk about, and I know how to kind of progress the story, but I don't know how to work out all the like massive plot holes that are there right now. So that is something I'm going to be attempting next month, whilst also making videos, looking for a job and a house, possibly moving. Also, I have graduation, so I wouldn't be surprised if I won't be able to finish the novel, but hopefully this will be a kick up the bum and I'll at least start writing something, because creating from nothing is so difficult and I need to practice, because that is one of the most important things you need to do in a creative art form like this, is practice, because otherwise you'll never do it. I guess that's kind of it for today. Just in case you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Aaron and welcome to my channel. I make videos similar to this one every single week. I did miss a few because I was ill, and I might miss some more because I'm currently looking for both work and a house in London, because this is not actually my house, so I might miss some more while I move and get my life sorted out. But other than that, it'll be regular content very soon, I promise. If you really like what I do, you can support me by going to my Patreon page and pledging as much or as little money as you want, and you can claim some cool rewards as well, so please do check that out. And other than that, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!